Now I know that we're back on the drive and it's another video from the garage. I do apologise, we're not outdoors yet. Got quite a lot of work to do on the Land Rover, and this is the beginning of the Land Rover project. I've made a list of all the things that I want to do to it. Not everything is to get it through the MOT. These are just jobs that I want to complete on the car. So today I'm going to have a little bit of a look around the Land Rover, look at some of the stuff that I've bought to do these jobs, and it's basically the beginning of the Land Rover project. So this is my list. Like I say, not everything is to get it through the MOT. It's basically everything that I want to do to the car. Things like replacing the front discs and pads, a front caliper rebuild. Now I've actually purchased this, so there is going to be a video on rebuilding the front calipers on the Discovery using this tool. Something that I've never done before, so we can learn together. I've also got a new rocker cover seal and the 3 nut seals as well. Hopefully this should stop the leak on the cylinder on the rocker cover. I have been advised to replace the cyclone filter as well, so I will be doing that as well. So that's a job to do. Next up, we've got the boost pin to fit. I originally fit the boost pin to the car before I'd replaced the clutch, and it did make a big difference. It gave quite a bit more power, but with that power came extra other things. Things like the exhaust gas temperatures, and the clutch wasn't great to start with, so it was making the clutch slip. So I had to take it out until I did the clutch. I've now got an LOF heavy duty clutch in the Discovery, so this can go back in because I know that it won't make it slip. Next is just a bit of cosmetics. We've got some leather gear stick gaiters, so we'll be having a go at fitting them. We've also got the headlights. I need to recover this just because I've made a bit of a rubbish job with the vinyl wrapping, so I'm going to have another go at that. Again, that will be another video that we will do. Another thing is just fitting bits like this back on. I've also got the Rattlex turrets and dislocation cones to repaint. I've started painting them yellow and I just haven't finished them, as you can see. So that needs finishing and popping back on the car. Coming back to the list, we've got things like the headlining. I'm going to recover the headlining. I'm going to paint the diff guards. We've got some repair work on the inner wing and the front. We have some chassis welding to do. The rear ladder and the light guards need painting and sorting out. The rear drawer system. I want to build a custom roof console. I want to fit a larger intercooler. I've got a service kit up here. Now it is a Brit Part 1, but it's temporary. We'll change all this, and then in the next couple of 1,000 miles we'll change it for a better quality one. Things like the front radius arms. I'm currently running standard front arms, and with the 2-inch lift and the bigger tyres, the shockers are actually rubbing on the turrets a little bit because the angle's out of line. Uprated, caster corrected front radius arms will sort that out and make the shock absorbers go straight. Another thing is I have a lot of paint here. I'm going to repaint my wheels in satin black. They're looking a bit tired, they're looking a bit worn, and I think a bit of new paint will make the car look a bit better. Other things like a rear bed setup and a tailgate door card and table. A bonnet decal, I'll show you that. The rear bumper needs repainting. I'm going to do that in Raptor paint. I'm going to paint the axles, wax oil the chassis. We've got a bit of a leak on the vacuum pump, so that's going to get sorted. We've got an oil catch can to fit, and I'm also going to rebuild the roof rack for a full roof rack. I've got a bit of a design with that one, so we'll have a look at that. I'd like to fit the gull wing doors on the rear in replace of the rear quarter windows because my seals are horrendous. A rear wheel carrier. I have got an idea with that. I want to fit a detachable tow bar, possibly a winch bumper from Dixon Fabrication, a twin battery setup, and maybe an extra 1 inch of lift. So that's my list off the top of my head. I've started making it and I keep adding to it. Again, these aren't all going to get it through the MOT. These are just jobs that I want to do. The main thing to get it through the MOT is things like the chassis welding. There's quite a few holes in the chassis that need plating over, and I'm going to do a decent job of it. I think other than that, maybe the front discs and pads could do replacing. They were quite scored last time when I changed the pads, so I'm going to get stuck in with that. But yeah, let's go and have a look at the car and we'll have a look at what we need to do. So in here, I'm going to replace the roof lining. This is just stone chip. It wants covering with some fabric. I'm going to build a centre console that goes right across to the back part of the car, and that is going to house the CB, lights and a few other little bits and bobs. And then again, I'm going to replace these gear lever gaiters. This was a bit ripped, and with it being plastic coated, when it's in tick over, it just rattles all the time, so I'm going to replace them, and that should make the interior of the car look a bit nicer. Looking under here, you see I've got a few holes appearing in the chassis. I have plated it in a few places, but it's going in a few other places as well, so I'm going to do a proper good job on this. Probably have to cut some of these bits off, weld it up and then re-weld them back on. I'm going to have to strip quite a lot of this off, take the exhaust out, just to make it easier to access. I think this cross member might have to come off because a lot of the rust is behind this cross member. All good fun. Another thing is these wheels starting to rust on the edges, rust on these bits, rust in these bits. So I'm going to take them off, sand them all down, repaint them, and get some new wheel nuts as well, because they bring down the look of the car. And also coming around the back, that one definitely needs painting because it was white. The rear light guards, again going rusty, looking a bit manky, and the rear bumper, the paint hasn't really held up very well. It looks a bit naff, to be honest, so I'm going to sand that back and wrap to paint that. Again, rear ladder, this plastic coating needs taking off, and then we'll sand it all back and we'll wrap to paint this as well. The roof rack's alright for now, but I want to have a full length one, so I'm going to design something that will go with that. Now my new job is working with vinyl wrap, and I'm going to take advantage of it. I've got a little bit of a thing with my bonnet. I'm going to try and do something like this. I'll show you. So I'm planning on doing this raised area on the bonnet in a matte black. I've tested it out with this vinyl and I really like it. I think it looks really good. It's quite subtle, doesn't stand out too much, but I really like it. I just need to get some knifeless tape to run along this edge so that I get a nice clean cut on the vinyl. And then my thought is having just up one side Discovery, but in a nice font, a subtle font, and then getting rid of a lot of the decals on the car. Yeah, I think that'll look quite nice. A lot of the work that I'm going to do is maintenance, things like chassis welding. It's not entertaining really. You might be interested in how I'm doing it and seeing. Maybe not. You might be interested in how I'm doing it and seeing the process. A lot of it is painting as well. All the diff guards, I want to take them back to bare metal and paint them yellow so they all match. There's all sorts of stuff, especially in here as well. I want to convert in here and maybe make some kind of bed setup. When we have child-free nights, I'd like to get away and do a bit of a wild camp in the Land Rover, maybe up in the lakes, maybe in the Dales. You know, spend a bit of quality time with my partner and also get out in the outdoors, you know, light a fire, chill out, spend some quality time away from the buzz of daily life. Battery died because I'm waffling so much. Another thing that I want to do is coming around to the back of the car. Let's see, the rubbers on these rear windows, they're all perished. You can't actually get hold of these rubbers anymore. The 3-door Discovery has a bigger rear quarter window than the 5 doors. You can get hold of the 5-door rubbers, but you can't get the 3 doors anymore. So to combat that, I'm thinking take out the window and fit gull wing windows. I'm going to have to make them myself, which is again going to be another kind of project, but I think that'd be quite nice, especially if we are camping in the back of it and we are sat in here on a nice morning, open the window and enjoy the view whilst laying in bed. Yeah, that's the idea anyway. And also it'll be handy if we pull over somewhere, just open it up and make a brew. Yeah, and also it make the outside of the car look pretty decent. Now temporarily I'm thinking I've got some of this black matte vinyl, I might cover it in black matte, see what it looks like, we'll see. I'm moving into the boot of the car, the rear. We've got this rear drawer set up. I want to remake that. We've got these cubby boxes that I'd like to adapt, but the drawer setup was just knocked together with some plywood and MDF, and I want to make a better job of that. It's got all my tools in, just needs making better, and you can see there's gaps that need utilising, and then do something with them windows. Now one thing that I need to do is I can't go too high with these drawers because this is the platform that Jazzy sits on, and if she's too high it's not good for her, she's got no space. So I want to keep it pretty low and give her a nice platform. She's got plenty of room in here at the minute, so I'm happy with how it goes. As she gets older I am starting to lift her in and out of the car as well, 'cause it's a long way to go down. It's hard on her paws and on the joints, so yeah, so that's another job to do. And then on the back of the door I'd like to make a drop down table, and maybe do something on the back window. We're going to have to make some curtains or something if we are sleeping in the back of here, so there's going to have to be a curtain setup. Yeah, lots to do, lots and lots and lots to do, and I'm itching to get on with it. Also, possibly in the future, the paintwork on the car is getting a bit old. You know, she's knocking on for 30-year-old now, so she's done alright so far, but in the future we may end up Raptor painting the car. Now I've seen a few people that have done it and they've kind of ruined the car, and I don't want to go down that route. I don't want to paint it and it look horrible. So I'm undecided on the colour and everything like that. So that's pretty much it for the tour of the Discovery. There is loads of things that I'm going to do. I'm going to film it all, so hopefully it should be interesting to you guys. If there's anything that you'd like me to do or you'd like me to show, let me know in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. I know that I've had a bit of a break on YouTube, and I'm not going to say that I'm going to post every week because life gets in the way. I've got 2 jobs and I've got a family, a young family, and the children have got chicken pox as well at the minute, so they're exceptionally needy. I got no sleep last night because my youngest was in quite a lot of pain. So yeah, so family and work is going to have to come first, but where I can, I'm going to make as many videos as I can and get them out to you. They are going to be early access on the Patreon account, so if you're interested in supporting the channel on Patreon, I'll put a link in the description. You're free to have a look. No worries if you don't want to. I appreciate everything that everyone does anyway, and I appreciate the views and the comments and everything. So yeah, there's also a few other little projects. I haven't shown you the caravan. We're going to be doing that up and taking that on trips as well. That's going to be a separate video where I'm going to show you around the caravan. If you're interested in that, then brilliant, let me know, and if not, just skip it and there'll be more Land Rover related videos too. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. I think is it down there? Might be down there. Nobody knows.